Joy po, your math teacher for today. For today's lesson, you will be entering the outside world of mathematics. It will sharpen your mind and enhance your skills. So sit down and relax. Let's start learning and exploring the outside world of mathematics. And do not forget to prepare the following before we start: your module, your notebook, and your ballpen. And for our math concept for today, mathematics may not teach us to add love or subtract hate, but it gives us hope that every problem has a solution. So before we start our discussion, I want you to refresh your mind on the following pictures being shown on the screen. Can you name the pictures being shown on the screen? Okay, now let's start for the first picture. Very good. The first picture is a door. What about the second one? Yes. It's a wood or a tile. What about the third one? Very good. It is an example of a beautiful painting. What about the fourth one? Very good. Everybody knows what is the fourth one. So it is a blackboard. Okay. Now, my question is, can you cite a reason why these pictures are being shown, or what are the relationship between these pictures? So what would be our topic for today? For today's objective, you will represent points, lines, and planes using concrete and pictorial models. Okay, so our lesson for today is all about undefined terms, which are points, lines, and planes. Let us first identify the undefined terms. What are those undefined terms again? Yes, those are points, the lines, and the planes. Let us first identify the point. A point is usually represented by a small dot. It has no dimension, it shows location or a position. So these pictorial models being shown on the screen are examples of a point. Now, how can we name a point? In naming a point, we must use the capital letter. So in the examples being shown on the screen, we have point A, point B, point C, point D, point E, and point F. So these are examples on how to name a point. Okay, now you already identify what a point is and how to name a point. Now let's move on to the second undefined term. What is a line? A line is always straight and infinite in two directions. It contains an infinite point. It has no width but has length. It is represented by two arrowheads facing opposite to each other. So they are facing in two directions. So as you can see in the models, there are lines represented by points, and those points are written in capital letters. So yung line natin, dapat meron siyang dalawang arrowheads facing opposite to each other. So meron sa left, meron din sa right. So dapat yung line mo may dalawang arrowheads. Ngayon, how to name a line? Paano ba natin papangalanan ang line? So in naming a line, it is just the same as naming a point. So as we can see on the screen, there are different lines with different points. So on the line, there are 2 points, and that points would be the name of your line. So on the screen, we have 3 different lines. So what are their names? So for the first line, we have line AB, or can be written as line BA. For the second line, we have line CD or can be written as line DC. And for the third line is line EF or line FE. Do not forget, you must use a capital letter for the name of the line. On top of the letter is your figure. Your figure must have 2 arrowheads. If wala siyang arrowhead, hindi siya matatawag na line. Iba na ang tawag doon. So we will tackle that, what kind of lines that, to the next slide. Okay? So we have special types of lines. So dito na papasok yung mga question nyo na, ma'am, paano pag walang arrowheads? Ano pong tawag doon? So ang tawag pala doon is line segment. Ano nga ba ang line segment? Line segment has 2 endpoints. Pag sinabi nating endpoints, meron siyang hangganan. Hindi siya pwede mag-extend. It stops at the endpoints. So the line will stop at the endpoints. So as we can see on the screen, we have different lines. And on each line, we have different endpoints. So for the first line, we have line segment AB, or can be written as line segment BA, line segment CD, and line segment DC. And for the third line, we have line segment EF or line segment FE. Pwede rin basahin ito na segment lang. Segment AB or segment BA, segment CD or segment DC, segment EF or segment FE. So again, take note. Pag walang arrowheads, ang tawag is line segment or segment. So let's move on to the next slide. Another special type of line is array. It has one endpoint. It extends in one direction without end. So meron siyang isang endpoint. At yung isang line niya is extending infinitely without end. Infinitely without end. So meron tayong ray AB, CD, and ray EF. Nakikita nyo sa screen. So ang kaibahan ng ray sa line segment, ang line segment is meron siyang 2 endpoints. Pero yung ray is meron siyang 1 endpoint at yung isa is may arrowhead. Okay? Pinagsamang line at line segment si ray. Okay. Are we clear? Another way naming a line is by using a lowercase letter. So as you can see on the screen, we have line Y. Line Y is representing the different points. Inside the line is the points A, B, C, and D. So it can be read as line Y. So pwedeng hindi na capital letters ang gamitin mo as the name of the line. Pwedeng small letter na. Pero hindi pwedeng maging points ang small letter na Y. Okay? Ito ay pangalan lamang ng line. So this is another way on how to name a line. The first one is by using a capital letters. The other one is by using a lowercase letters. So we're now on the third undefined term in geometry, which is a plane. So what is a plane? A plane is represented by a flat surface extended without end. It has no thickness and edge, but has length and width. It contains infinite points. So when we say infinite, there's no end. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, these are some of the examples of a plane. I know you have been thinking a lot of examples in your head, just like blackboard, desk, floor. So these are examples of a plane. The question is, how can we name a plane? How can we name a plane? Naming a plane by using 3 points. So in the figure, we have noticed that there are 4 points, but we are only allowed to use 3 points. So the possible names of a plane are ABC, BCA, BCD, DCB, ABD, and DBA. So these are the possible names of a plane. They can be interchanged as long as they are inside the plane. What if the points are outside the plane? Can we include the points to be the name of a plane? The answer is no. It should be inside the plane to be included and to name the plane. Another way of naming a plane is by using the single uppercase letter. So in the figure, we have noticed that there are no points, but only the uppercase letter, which is D. On the other hand, the name of the plane is plane D. And this letter can be written inside or outside the plane. We have noticed that there are points on the line and there are points not on the line. There are also points not on the plane, and there are also points on the plane. So what do you call those points? Okay, Matinix. So the first point is what we call collinear points. Collinear points are points that lie on the same line. So in the figure, we have noticed that the points A, B, C, and D are on the same line. And if they are on the same line, they are called collinear points. The second term is non-collinear points. So these are points that do not lie on the same line. So as we have noticed in the figure, that points E and F are not on the same line. So therefore, we conclude that these points are non-collinear points. So again, what do you call those points that lie on the same line? Yes, very good. They are collinear points. What about those points that do not lie on the same line? Very good. Those are non-collinear points. So the third point is what we call the coplanar point. So these are any 3 points combination that are in the same plane. So in the figure, we have noticed that points A, B, C, D, E, and F are on the same plane. So they are called coplanar points. What about those points not in the same plane? So any 3 points combination that are not in the same plane is what we call non-coplanar points. So in the figure, we have noticed that only point C is not in the same plane. And if we have a 3-point combination, which is points A, B, E, they are coplanar points. But if we have points B, E, C, they are non-coplanar points, simply because point C is not in the same plane. So again, what do you call those points that are on the same plane? Very good. Those are coplanar points. What do you call those points that are not on the same plane? Very good. Those are non-coplanar points. What about points not on the same line? Very good. Those are non-collinear points. What about those points that are on the same line? Very good. Those are collinear points. So you have already know the different kinds of points on the lines and on planes. So let's find out some real life examples of lines, points, and planes. Mathematics. So here are more real life examples of points, lines, and planes. So for the point, we have location of a place in the map. We have the tip of a needle, the intersecting point of 2 lines. And for the line, we have time, lines of latitude and longitude, the center line on highway, or the equator. And for the plane, we have a piece of paper, the wall, a whiteboard, a note card, and a desktop. So there are lots of real-life examples of points, lines, and planes. Good job, Mathematics! Now we are now done in our discussion. Let us first have a lesson recap. What are the undefined terms? The undefined terms are points, the lines, and the planes. What is the difference between collinear and non-collinear points? Collinear points are points that lie on the same line, whereas non-collinear points, they are points that do not lie in the same line. What is the difference between coplanar and non-coplanar points? Coplanar points are points that lie in the same plane, whereas non-coplanar points, they are points that do not lie in the same plane. Very good, Mathematics! Now, let's apply what you have learned from my discussion.
Read carefully the questions and answer, whether it is a point, line, or a plane. You only have 10 seconds to answer. Question 1. What undefined term that shows a location or a position? Your choices are A. Point, B. Line, C. Segment. The correct answer is A. Point. Question 2. What undefined term that represented by an arrowhead with 2 infinite directions? Your choices are A. Plane, B line, C segment. The correct answer is B line. Question 3. It is a point that lies on the same line. Your choices are A. Collinear point, B. coplanar point, C. collinear point. The correct answer is collinear point. Question 4. It is represented by a flat surface extended without end. A. coplanar, B. ray, C. plane. The correct answer is C. plane. Question 5. It has one end point. The one is extended in one direction without end. A. point, B. plane, C. ray. The correct answer is C. ray.
Congratulations, Marinik! You did great! You are really a mathematician.
Do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch for more supplemental videos. Thank you! For more additional activity, you can cite more examples of a point, line, and planes that can be found in your home. And for your homework, study these undefined terms and prepare for a short quiz next week.
See you!